Starting off on this side of the engine compartment, you have your pressure cap and expansion tank. The expansion tank system is needed because as coolant heats up, it expands. So there needs to be a location where the expanded coolant can go to, so that's why you've got an expansion line here. Over here you've got one of your gas struts. Together with a other strut on the other side are used to hold your bonnet up. To the right of the expansion tank you have your two dust covers for your air conditioning recharge points. Just by the size of the two pipes you can tell what each air conditioning pipe does. This is your high pressure pipe because it's smaller, and this is your low pressure pipe because it's bigger. Connected to the bottom of the expansion tank you have your coolant supply pipe. Because the expansion tank is the only official way to top up the engine's coolant system, that's why you've got the supply pipe. This pipe here that runs back here is your fuel supply pipe. This pipe takes the fuel from the fuel sender unit in the tank via the fuel filter to the high pressure pump. Also in this location you have one of your engine mounts, engine mount bracket, and rubber that reduces vibrations going into the cabin. Moving the camera towards the rear of the engine compartment you have your brake fluid cap and reservoir. There is a sensor that monitors the level of the brake fluid inside the tank. If the fluid is running low, the operator will be warned via the dashboard by a warning light. If there was no fluid in that tank, you would get air going into the system, and that is very, very, very bad news for a braking system. Below the reservoir, you've got your master cylinder. On the master cylinder itself, you've got two of your pipes that takes fluid from the master cylinder to the ABS modulator. Moving back here, you've got your turbocharger. On the back of the turbocharger turbine housing, you've got your exhaust system. The whole point of an exhaust system in an automobile is to not only turn harmful emissions into less harmful emissions, like carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide, but it's also used to remove the exhaust far away from the vehicle. Moving the camera to the right, you can just see your supply line. A turbocharger needs oil. Oil is absolutely critical for a turbocharger's bearings. Without it, you would have a disaster, i.e. turbo failure. To the right, you can just see your compressor housing. Inside the compressor housing, you've got yourself blades that compresses the air going from the air filter. To increase the engine's power and torque, a turbocharger is used to force more air into the engine, i.e. improving its volumetric efficiency. Also in this area you have heat shielding that protects components from heat damage, and also you have sound deadening to reduce the noise of the powertrain going into the cabin. Moving the camera to this location, you can see one of your locations where you can attach an engine crane hook. In this location here you have your timing belt cover. Behind the cover you have your timing belt drive gear and your timing belt. The timing belt is also used to drive your diesel high pressure pump. Over here you have your oil filler cap. Now this is also your dipstick. In this location you've got quite a few different components like coolant pipes, electrical connectors, wiring harnesses, your engine block. You can see your oil cooler, and below the coolant pipe you have your oil filter. Down in this location you can see your alternator. The alternator is used to power the 12-volt system when the engine is operating. Covering your fuel injectors and other components, you have your engine cover. there is a cutout in the engine cover for your pipe that takes air from the turbocharger compressor housing outlet to your intercooler, which is located in that area. Back in this location, you can see your washer fluid cap. Below the cap, you've got your neck that leads to your washer fluid tank, located below this area. On the back of the headlight, you've got service covers that you can remove to gain access to the bulbs of the headlight. You've also got an adjuster to adjust headlight aim for when you're servicing the vehicle. On the slam panel, you've got information, and also you have your bonnet latch lever and cable to operate your bonnet latch. This is your bonnet latch. On the other side, you have information here telling you that this vehicle is equipped with a diesel particulate filter. You also have additional information here. On this side of the engine compartment, you have your 12-volt battery. The 12-volt battery is used to supply power to the 12-volt system when the engine is not running. On the battery itself, you've got your positive post cover, your negative post, your negative cables, and your battery monitoring sensor. Also on the battery, you have information about the battery and your battery grab handles. Moving the camera over here, you have a component that's part of your system that holds down the battery. The battery in this vehicle sits on a battery tray. Moving over here, you have one of your power distribution box lids. Over here, you have your air filter. And to the right of that, you've got your electrical connectors for your engine control unit. The engine control unit takes in information from various sensors and compares that information with its internal memory to then control the actuators. Over here you have your pipe that goes from your intercooler to your throttle body. In a diesel engine, the throttle body is not used to control the output of the engine, but instead it's used to enhance EGR efficiency, and it's also used to smooth down the shutdown of the engine. Over here you've got your vacuum pump. Moving the camera over here, you've got other different components like actuator and other systems. Behind the air filter, you have your ABS modulator. The ABS modulator is used for multiple things. It is not only used to prevent the wheels from locking up during hard braking, but it's also used for traction control, stability control, and other systems. Thank you very much for watching my video, and goodbye.